see, I've been part of the local music scene now for around 5, 6 years, something like that. I don't know, a fairly decent amount of time. I've been booking shows for a good majority of that. I started doing Christian metalcore shows at the Crossroads Cafe in Chillicothe because I had a Christian metalcore band called Gary Makes It Rain, and we played. And we just tried to book bands that we wanted to see or wanted to play with, or who would even come out. So I made a lot of friends and connections that way. It really got me into the door, meeting a lot of people, meeting more and more people in the area who were into the same thing. Then I kind of fell out of everything, you know, just moved to a tent in the woods, and I didn't go to shows for a while. Came back in 2 years ago, I think, maybe a little bit more, and just got right back into the swing of things. Started up a venue with my friend Stephanie. We had a band from Brazil come through. We've had a bunch of bands from Chicago, just good people, good times. We've tried to bring food, bring a sense of unity to a lot of the people.
Okay, my name's Austin O'Brien. Hardcore is cool. I've been going to shows for like 6 years, thanks to Pancakes, who took me to a really awful hardcore show when I was like 12 years old, and kind of like spiraled downhill from there because of Story of the Year. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, the band's real good. Hardcore's silly sometimes, but I don't know. I book shows along with Justin Lehman, or Pancakes, and Jacob Heflin. I've only been doing that for like 2 or 3 months. I just did my first one back in October, and it went really well. I guess I could say the same thing as everybody else. It's kind of just that different feeling that you get when you go to shows. But I don't know, that's a general consensus. I don't know, no one really fights at shows, which is kind of cool. You always go to like school events and kids are just like real hostile towards each other. You go to shows and it's not like that at all. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I'm in a band, which is kind of cool because it's a different side of things. You don't really, not a lot of people get to experience like the feeling of being in front of people, which is really cool because it's kind of something like a part of yourself that's sort of vulnerable in a sense that you get to share with everyone, and that's not something that everyone gets to experience, but I kind of wish they would. So I guess overall my message would be you need to start a band because no one starts bands.
Hello, my name is Justin Andrew Lehman. People call me Pancakes. I book shows. I've been going to shows since I was about 15 years old. I've always liked it. I felt like I belonged, and it was just another thing that I did on a Friday night that got me out of my mom's basement. I felt like everybody was accepted, everybody had fun, and nobody just left all their problems at home, whether it was girl problems or school problems. They just lived for that night. I started booking shows probably about a year or two ago. Well, probably about a year. And ever since I did it, it just felt right, and I loved everything about it. Yeah, it's very, very stressful, but you have to put effort into it, and you have to do a lot to make people come and flyer, but it just so much out of it. And when a band thanks you, you just feel so good, and just, I don't know, it just feels right.
Hi, I'm Kyle Smith of the Kyle Smith Variety Show. I do vocals live and I play guitar behind the scenes on FL Studios. I program all my drums. I'm the only member of my band. I've played about 11 shows now. I've played many shows with lots of random genres. I've opened for bands such as State and Madison. I've played at record release shows like the Honest Empire record release, played with some great bands there. I've been in the scene probably since about 2008. Was the first show I ever went to. It was an old metal show. It was at a concert called Vozfest. My friend had him. obviously Boz, Oz, see what he did there. And that was the first show I went to. I went with my friend Jay, and we just hung out. It was a blast, and I've been going ever since. I started my band close to the spring of 2011. I just got the idea. I was watching a band called We Butter the Bread with Butter, and they have a guitar player and a vocalist. They just program everything. I'm like, well, I know how to do everything. I'll program it, and I've been playing shows ever since. I guess my impact on the scene is I bring a diversity, because I play Christian grind, or not even grind, like metalcore, I guess. I mean, we don't get that around. I haven't heard it. I like elements of techno and electronic music in my songs. I've never actually been in a legit band that played shows. I should have a CD coming up soon. Hopefully I'll have about 20 tracks on it. So we sell it for like 15 bucks. I've played with Through the Eyes of a Giant, Dreams May Falls tonight. I'm actually getting to play with them, so technically I've played with them if you're watching this. And do my music for Jesus. That's what I do. Gives me a purpose in my music, and that's what I feel I should do. I've always enjoyed heavy music. I used to not enjoy heavy music. I used to think it was just a bunch of people rambling in the microphone. And I think it was like Waking the Cadaver my friend showed me. Because, I mean, come on, freshman in high school, here's a guy saying shredded wheat. You're pretty stoked about that. And it's just gone ever since. I play guitar, as I've said. I use a 7-string. I play in drop G sharp right now. It's kind of stupid low because I'm in the bass range. I'm hoping to go into music recording and programming and production. I actually recorded a band today. They're called Slaughter Camp. And I see a little bit of myself in them. It's cool. Being 15, playing hard rock metal.
My name's Alejandro. I first started getting involved in the band scene about last March. I was a new musician, just wanting to reach out, and unfortunately I didn't have the best first experience. A lot of people were really, really mean and mocked me, and I was actually at a point where I was thinking everybody in the band scene was kind of a jerk. And it wasn't about till the end of the summer that some people like Austin O'Brien and Kyle Smith and Mitch Snyder and a lot of other guys were just reaching out to me saying not everyone in the band scene is like this. And at first I did not want to believe them, and then they were like, just come to a show, one of our shows. And I did, and I had a really, really great time. And I've really been wanting to help out more, even though I've been getting a lot of flack from those people that didn't like me. But I started contributing, putting sound at shows, and offering my own sound system for use whenever they need it, and it feels actually kind of good to be able to help out, I'm actually a part of something bigger. A lot of people really complain about the band scene sometimes, but a band called Tucson from Chicago said we have one of the best band scenes we've ever seen. And after thinking about it, it's everyone that's in this scene are best friends, they'll do anything for each other, and it's kind of cool that I now actually get to be a part of that, because I've never really actually had a really tight group of friends ever since I moved here 4 years ago. So, I'm really, really glad that I can be a part of this, and I hope that, I can help bands play more shows, help run sound, and being able to play alongside all these people who love music as much as everyone else does. I mean, we all like different music, but deep down, we just love music, period. So, that's what I do.
My name's Kobe Ward. I do a solo hardcore project called Drained, and it sounds kind of like Trash Talk meets Black Teeth. I mean, I'm naming horrible bands, or not horrible bands, but just I can't compare to it. But it's fast and it can be slow. But my involvement, I've been in the scene, I don't know, close maybe 6 years to a decade. I played in and out of bands. My first band was a butt rock band. That didn't last very long. My second band was a Christian metalcore band that lasted about a year. And I've been going to shows since I was 14, 15, and music's been a big part of my life. And I try and go to as many shows as possible. I can't anymore because I'm broke and I'm getting married, but I try and do as much as I can with it. But I'm really excited to do my solo hardcore project. A bunch of friends are helping me do it. I've guest vocals from Chris Bayless and Austin O'Brien. They're in Fiends. Jeff Stuckel, who has a spoken word project, is going to do guest vocals part on it. His project's called Keyoung. But a bunch of friends are just helping out with it, and I'm making music that I truly enjoy. I finally feel like I'm making hardcore that I've always wanted to play. And also, I'm only writing guitars and bass and lyrics, but a longtime friend of mine named Jameson Chapin is writing the drums for it. So that's basically my involvement with the scene.
I've been in the music scene around here for about 8 years now. Been straight edge just as long. I'm one of the last remaining straight edge kids going around here. One of the trends I've noticed from this music scene, it just tends to die a lot. The only best way that we've been able to keep it alive is by booking shows ourselves, making a lot of friends, inviting new people that are new to the scene in to hang out. The biggest way I've contributed to the scene is probably being in bands. Been in quite a few. Currently, I'm in Fiends with Austin O'Brien and Ryan Murphy.
Hi, my name is Ryan Murphy, and I run a record label called Honest Empire Records. I started in the middle of the summer of 2011, around June, and this wasn't my first experience with music or record labels or anything like that. I've been in bands since I was in high school, and the most recent of these, probably the most recognizable, would be the Centralia Mindfire, also called Centralia. I play bass in that band. I also play bass in a hardcore band called Heavy Hearts, and right now I'm working on playing bass in a band called Fiends and working on some other projects. I also play guitar and do some solo stuff, but the main thing I'm working on right now is my record label called Honest Empire. We just had a label showcase show like 2 months ago, just to kind of get some interest going in the scene and bring some different bands, just because it's very, I think people don't really get a good experience with different genres of music. It's all hardcore, or it's all indie, or it's all post-rock. It's like one genre per show, and I guess people don't really get to see the full aspect of music. Right now I have a couple bands on my label. I'm putting out this band from Indiana called Analecta, and putting out their first full length, so I'm pretty excited about that. Then putting out a band from St. Louis called Strangers Now, putting their EP out on cassette, and I don't know, a lot of the experience, my experience with like music and being in bands, and also school experiences helped me get to where I am right now. It's really cool that a lot of people are starting to get more active in our scene, and I think that's real cool. I just think people need to be more proactive about it, and just not, post stuff on Facebook, or, that's only one aspect. You need to be creative. I guess someone said, don't be a part of your scene, create your scene. And so I found that real cool, just to really be active, go flyer, go, book shows, make a band, and play shows, start a record label. It's a risk, but, you gotta take risks if you wanna, go somewhere in music, so.
Hello, I'm Richard Leese. I also go to shows around here in the Peoria area. I have been going to shows since I was 13. I started out at a place called Johnny's Coffee House in Metamora. I went there on the weekends and saw a bunch of bands that I liked, and it was kind of new to me at the time, and I enjoyed the atmosphere. I hold the general opinion of a sense of belonging was there, and I liked people, and it was a cool thing. It was much cooler than a football game or something, hanging out, doing nothing. It was cool, and I liked music. And since then, I got into high school. I've been in and out of bands, starting bands with kids I met. I have played a few shows, and I mostly go to them though. Just the general stuff, like I like it. It doesn't suck, and it's a good thing to do, and I like music.
Hey, what's up? I'm Andrew. I've pretty much been in the scene for since I was about 15, 16 years old. I've been playing lots of live shows. My first band was freshman year in high school. It's just called The Last Autumn. We did Blink-182 covers and Taking Back Sunday covers, and just random bands. But I've progressively gotten more into the music scene. I'm officially in a band called The Eyes of a Giant now. We're hoping to tour very soon next summer. Playing a lot of shows, a lot of music, a lot of recording, playing with a lot of bigger names like Attila. Met Craig Owens, recording with him. Just lots of really awesome things have been happening. But taking it back a little bit, there's been a really few nice venues that I grew up being around, and just the people that I've got to meet over this time span, and just the people I've just grown to become my friends, It's just really awesome, and everyone hangs out and lives the dream, I've met all different people from different walks of life. I have a lot of straight edge friends, I have a lot of people that do everything, it just doesn't matter, but it's just the music scene that I have here that is slowly still growing and taking its time, but it's growing. And I'm hoping and praying it continues to get bigger and bigger through the time as we go. But it's just nice. Everyone's very loving, caring, very fun environment, very peaceful environment. There's so many elements that you can experience going to shows and to hang out with people that you met. Literally my favorite bands are people that I hang out with. I know them personally, and not a lot of people can say that. I can literally call a few of my friends up and say, hey, you want to play a show? And they're fine with it. It's just, we all meet up and hang out and spend time together, and that's kind of what it's been all about. It's been years. I've been in it for 6 years now, 6, 7 years now altogether, musically. And I've been playing drums in this band, I've played drums in pop punk bands, indie bands, metal bands, hardcore bands, you name it. And just every single genre of music just comes down to one thing. It's just living it, loving the music, man. Love the music for what it is. Experience it, take the time to learn it. Make friends through music. Make music together with people you don't even know. People you spend time with outside. You just walking through the park and some guy has drums outside and you just want to go sit with him and play. It's just a wonderful experience. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. And, just take this as a word of advice, just live it. Live it to the fullest as much as you possibly can. Because it's hard to get as far as you want to in music, but if you work hard enough, you'll get where you need to be. Trust me.